Well, folks, in today's live stream, we're going to be working on these four engines right here, which were temporarily given to me to repair from a local train store known as Larkspur Line. Anyway, the owner basically gave me these engines. He said that they didn't run, or they didn't run very well, so I tested them all. It turned out that actually... Gee, it was these two that ran and these two that had problems, but we're going to be taking them all apart today to try to fix them up. And yeah, hopefully we'll get some runners. I'm going to put these ones off to the side. We're going to start off with these two. We're just going to clean them. That way they'll run a bit better, and then afterwards we will get around to trying to fix the completely broken one. I will try my best to read the chat for this live stream, but I will apologize in advance. It might be a little bit tricky. I just saw somebody comment something about this being a different stream. That's sort of the goal, and I have done repair live streams before. I find they often don't go perfectly because I lose parts or something, so they take a little longer, but a lot of people have been requesting them lately, so I figured, what the heck. And also, me and my family have plans to go to Larkspur tomorrow, so I want to get them done so that I can bring them back to the owner, and they can, they want. I'm just realizing this engine. I was trying to unscrew these. Bachmans are supposed to have a little thing that holds the motor in, but it's gone in this case, which should say something, I guess, about the condition of this particular engine. But in any case, we're going to take this out. Fridays are always good. Yes, I do like the Fridays. We're going to begin here by disconnecting these wires. For anybody who doesn't know, you have to hold down these plates because under here are springs, and if you're not careful, you'll lose them. Which is something I do quite regularly. They're very easy to lose, so I'm going to try to not do that this stream because I've done it, I think, about every other live stream where I've worked on a piece of equipment. Sort of a habit of mine, I guess. Anyway, so I got both the springs there. There are a couple brushes in here. I'm going to try to knock those out into my hand. They might not move. Yeah, those are jammed in there. So this thing is definitely in need of maintenance, apparently. Kevin Jenner, moderating from my phone, so be delayed slightly. Oh, all right, welcome to the stream. Here, we're going to lift this off. What did Kendrick say? Bachman Bustard. I ain't afraid no Bachmans. Yeah, that's what you gotta say for these. Okay, I'm really confused. Did I lose the gears? I thought this engine was running under its own power, but there's no gears in here. What the heck? Maybe this is one of the ones that didn't run. Huh, okay, well, I guess we're going to be... I intended to be working on this one later, but I think I mixed up a couple of the engines, because there's no way that ran, so... Yeah, anyway, that or this thing's running on pixie dust. I don't know. There's something funny about that, but we're going to open this up. The motor does work. Yeah. All right. What did I miss? SMT is contracted confusion. Well, I've had that for a long time, but this brings it up to a new level, I believe. Also, I'm going to have to note that the black wire goes to the side with the brushes. So, if I forget which way to do it, one of you guys has to remember and comment it for me. I really would appreciate it. Oh boy. That requires a pretty small bit there. I don't even know if I have one that can get those out. I mean, I suppose we could just take it apart and leave the wires in. It's just going to be a bit annoying to work with, but whatever. That's what we'll do. Fixing this one's going to be pretty interesting, I think, though, because the thing is that since it doesn't have gears, we're going to have to get gears out of a different one in order to get this one running. I also find it interesting that it's got a sticker on it for being sold at a store, even though it never was. Don't know a whole lot about these engines. So we'll take out the gears. Everything looks relatively clean in here. Even the commutator's not that bad, which is good. Sometimes you open these things up and they're a bit of a nightmare. The brushes are stuck, so that's kind of not great, but other than that, it's all right. So we'll take our carbon fiber pencil here and clean up the commutator. David Z to G scale looks clean, surprisingly so. I kind of thought this wasn't going to be great, but it's not bad. Nylon gears, yeah, old 80s Bachmann. They are different. Just gonna get that off. There's a lot of oil on here. I think yeah, it's really the only flaw I've found in this thing so far, and that's pretty common for these old Kadar drives. So anyway, we can start reassembling it. Put in some oil. The reason there probably isn't any gears in here is because I suspect they cracked. It's those bottom ones that usually do crack. These three right here, since they weren't pressure fit to anything, usually don't. But that if I were to take a guess, that's what happened to this thing. The gears cracked. Somebody opened it up, found them like that, and decided to pull them out. Maybe they were trying to convert it into a dummy. I really have no idea. BM Brett, okay, I'm back. What did I miss? Not a lot. Just been slowly cracking open this engine in an attempt to figure out what's wrong with it. I did discover that it doesn't have any gears. So yeah, SMT, did you eat the gears? Well, I don't know. I mean, model trains are scrumptious, but if I were to pick one, I don't think it would be a Bachmann. Okay, that seems all right. So yes. Oh, we got a super chat. Thunderbolt 1003 or 1003. Thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name right, but I do appreciate it. There's likely chrome dome still sitting in the attic. Okay, I don't know what that is. If he ate the gears, I bet they tasted like Pop-Tarts. Well, that would make them worthwhile eating, I think. So I'll put a bit of oil there. It's good, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So I don't think I have to open this up for any other reason. So I guess we can put those two bitty little screws which were holding this whole thing together back in. And then I'm going to try to find some gears. And if we're lucky, we'll get this old bird running again. I do have a donor engine because I did know some of them were missing the gears. I think I just mixed them up. Hopefully it has some gears, but I'm not sure if I took them out for something else. Because the thing is, I have an engine. It's a donor engine. I don't want to scrap the engine. I just want to... The motor was in... Not that... Or the motor was fine, actually, but I took it for another project. So I want... That engine's already a dummy, but it might still have parts we can steal out of it to get one of these going again. And then somebody else can enjoy these. Can you stick a train on a train? What? So, yeah, anyway, so that's that. Here's the potential parts donor. Got this a while back. I feel like I took the gears out of it. Oh, no, that feels geared. Good. Okay, everyone cross your fingers. I hope there's gears in here. Come on. And optimally, I should really be taking out the whole motor assembly, but I'm trying to be lazy. Yeah, okay, I gotta take out the motor. Good, take apart that Santa Fe, yeah. I don't really understand. This clip is usually really easy to bend in, but for some reason this one's really stiff. I don't know if somebody maybe did something to the plastic or... I don't usually have problems with this. Okay, so there's our donor motor assembly. There we go. Gears, wonderful. Because you know what grinds my gears? Grinding gears. Anyone know a good video on how to fabricate a pilot from scratch? Gee, I don't know. I'd be curious. So these are the gears that usually crack. And you can see even, here, I wish it's not letting me zoom, but you can see even these ones are cracked. It won't prevent the engine from running unless it splits all the way through, which usually it's just a little split like this, but it will make that annoying clicking sound. I hope these gears are in good enough condition, though, to at least get the number running here. They might be, that's pretty bad there. But, yeah, as well as they go. Gee, I'm losing my mind a bit. I can't remember which way the gears go. Like that, okay. So we'll oil all of this up. Here, I'll put a bit there and a bit there. And in all the bearings. I'm putting a little too much, but shouldn't have too much of an effect in this case. Here we go. There's one. And if I can concentrate enough, I can get that in. And now we just need to put the wheels of the engine back in. And then this should theoretically run. Do you have a steam train with real steam? No, I don't have any live steam stuff. It looks cool, but it's very expensive, and I don't know if I want to fool around with live steam, honestly, for the simple reason is that it's actually kind of dangerous. You don't want one of those things to go pop. They're very they're fine-tuned kind of things, and I don't know if I trust myself to handle one. So that's that. Let's have a look, see if we can get this turning manually. Fingers are all oily from working on this thing, but I'm getting it to turn, so I think it will work. So yeah, now all we need to do is get the gears, etc. in, and or not even the gears, we just got to get those brushes in, and it should be okay. So we'll put them in one at a time, like so. In fact, we're gonna do this one by one because it will work better that way. Do you know if there's any way to fix a cracked gears not to click? It can be done. I've seen videos on it. I've never personally been successful. I haven't tried for a long time either, but yeah, you'd need to clean the gear off, so get any lubricants on it off, and then you use baking soda and crazy glue. And you need to hold it, but yeah, I haven't done that. Oh, Fish Abate, second time donating. Can I have a shout out? Okay, I'm gonna give you a shout out this one time because maybe you didn't know, so everyone go check out Fish Abate. But generally, I don't give shout outs to channels. I just, you know, if that's the rules, and I want to respect those. But since you didn't know, I'll let it go by. That's fine. And thank you very much for the super chat. Anyway, did I miss a super chat? The numbers seem kind of high. Let me just see here. Oh, there were two of them. Well, thank you very much. Oh, I'll set it to live chat too, so hopefully we don't miss anything. SMT, how do you do a live stream on a live stream? Okay, I don't understand that question. So there's that. We'll just repeat the process on the other side. Hey SMT, can you give me some pointers on building a layout? Well, I would say the first thing is figure out what you want. I mean, there are limits kind of to what you can do. I mean, obviously, time, space, and money are all considerations. But other than that, the biggest thing I would say is to not over-limit yourself. And yeah, pick exactly what you want. So a lot of people are going to tell you things like pick a time and a date, like a location and everything like that. And that's not bad advice, but the thing is that if you don't really care about that stuff, it's just going to end up, I find personally, just making it less fun. So yeah, go about it how you want. Add what you want. Alright, hopefully this is wired up correctly. I'm trying to see if I can see one of the wires, because I don't know if maybe this was sitting a different way, but that should be alright. Also, this one didn't have a particular, it's missing a clip on one side, basically, is what I'm trying to say, so that might be a problem. But anyway, we'll put the shell on this thing, we'll take it over the track, and if we're lucky, our efforts will have paid off. If not, I'll just repair this thing later. As I just want to kind of quickly go through them all, but yeah, we'll see. SMT doesn't have any MJ Transit stuff. No, I do not. Anyway, let's have a look here, see if what do you guys? Okay, everyone, run or not run? I really don't know. Does everyone want to take a guess? SMT or Mahano engine's good. In my books, they are. Anyway, I haven't seen any comments one way or the other. I'm just going to give this thing some power and see if she goes. Aha. It's not drawing any current either, so that's probably a problem with the brushes. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, she's a runner. Good, good, good. Sometimes when you put these things in, as we saw in the beginning, the brushes were just a bit stuck, so the springs weren't pushing them against the commutator, but sometimes just wiggling the engine around like that can get them to sit on the commutator, and it can get the engine running. Now, those gears are cracked, so it is making kind of like the two-stroke dirt bike noises, but it is a runner. So yeah, there's one going. Might need to do some small adjustments on that to get it working a little bit better before I give it back to the shop owner. I think that wire might be snagging, which is why it slowed down a little, but in any case, there's one. So yeah, now I just got 3 more to go. So anyway, let's get started on our next one there. I have no idea who did this. They actually did a decent job painting, but yeah, I don't know. I guess they want to make this engine a little prettier or something. There's so many things you see on used engines. I always find it entertaining seeing what people have done, but you can find the strangest stuff. Do you have TikTok, SMT? I do not have TikTok, no. I had TikTok. I never made videos on it. I had the app years ago, but I don't know. I don't want to get too into that scene, and I don't trust the people that own it, if you know what I'm pointing at. Anyway, enough of that. I think this tool's gone bad. I don't know if I stripped the ends off of it, but it's weird that this larger one seems to be able to fit into the small screws. Like, that's kind of wacko. SMT, how do you live stream on a phone? Okay, I can answer that question. So, the thing is that for live streaming on mobile, you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers. So, either you build up your channel and then you can just use the YouTube app. But if you don't have 1,000 subscribers, there are a lot of third-party apps which will allow you to do that. They work. There are some good ones out there. I don't really like it as much just because I feel just a little bit, a bit more of a sense of security using something made by YouTube. That way I'm not giving away my account information to some third party, which could do who knows what with it. But it is a way to. Okay, so there was something wrong, I think, with this plate here. And I think it was preventing this from coming out. And then when I tried to pull it out, it unfortunately pulled it back and let the spring release. So earlier when I was talking about losing springs a lot, well, there you go. Somebody just said Serenity. Not quite. Oh, we got a super chat, though. Full Metal. Okay, love model trains as a kid. Only recently in the past week started being interested in them again. Thinking about making this a hobby again. Right next to MMA and shooting. Also, my channel sucks. Shout out. Okay. I'm gonna give you a shout out because again, I don't know if you don't know, I haven't seen your channel in here before, so everyone go check out Full Metal Autism, I guess. But for people posting super chats, if people are posting super chats to get shout out, that is against the rules. So I'm not going to. I just can't keep honoring it. It's just not fair for everybody else. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know where I'm gonna find that. That spring is probably long gone. If I was lucky, it would have landed around here, close by. But my guess would be that it's fired off to some unknown location. So I could try to find a spring in somewhere else, or this Via, I believe, is a dummy engine because I did feel the wheels. So we're gonna see. This could have some springs in it still. I don't know if somebody converted it to a dummy, but it's definitely not geared, and I don't have any more gears. Well, it looks like somebody already stripped those out, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to look somewhere else. The donor engine doesn't have springs either, by the way, so because I already took them out for something else, so yeah, I don't know what I should do exactly. There's this sort of shady looking spring right here. If I trimmed that up, it might work. It's not really preferable. Can you do more N-scale videos? Funny you say, I've actually already filmed the video, I just haven't uploaded it yet. I ordered a eBay lot of N-scale engines, and I'm going to be restoring those soon enough. So there's our spring. I don't know if this is going to work, but I mean, this is not a great spring, but it might. That will do the job. These are really kind of junked engines, so you don't want to be sinking too much into them. But if we can just get them moving decently, I'll be happy. Anyway, let's before we lose the other spring, let's take this off. I probably should have removed these actually before taking out the whole motor block, but I just find it a bit easier to access them once we're in here. Oh boy, okay, let's take that out. The spring ironically looks like the other one. Well, I guess they're matching now. So I'll keep both of those springs together. Christian K 2008, thank you very much for the super chat. Hey, so you're doing something this time, I have to say, pretty special. I have a pretty special parcel coming in soon. That's awesome. Use a parts bowl. Okay, that's a good idea. I have that. I had that here this morning. Where did it go? I don't know if the parts bowl just got buried, but I've had it on my workbench the last few days. I have no idea where it has. Oh, I put it down below there. So thank you very much for David Z to G Scale in the chat for sending this parts bowl. Throw some things in there. And that so we don't lose it. And that. Anyway, let's pull that out. SMT, can you give us a sneak peek on what those N-scale locomotives are? Well, I showed them in the last live stream, so I guess there's not a whole lot. I will do I'm still going to upload that video on them, but yeah, I just bought some really dirt cheap little N-scale engines off of eBay. They're all kind of crummy, but I didn't pay much for them. So yeah, I just wanted some fun things to work on, so I just bought these unusual lot. So there will be some N-scale videos. I also have this box right here, which has a ton more N-scale engines in it. I ordered 2 lots, but I've yet to unbox the other one there. So yeah, we'll see. Those ones, the second lot looks better than that first lot. So yeah, long nose. It's a weird engine. I've never seen one like that. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna use this tool right here. I don't know what happened to my other flatheads, but seems to be missing. Anyway, we're just gonna crack this open here and see how things are going inside. You should do a live unboxing, that'd be really cool. Maybe at some point. The only thing about live unboxings, which I'm not too crazy about, is if somebody sends something that has their address on it or my address or anything like that. Just don't want to leak stuff like that, because it has happened in unboxings where somebody's put their address on like a card, which is fine, but you know, in a video I can edit that out, in a live stream I can't. So just, yeah, and it actually happened once where somebody asked if I could unbox their parcel, and their address was right there on it. So yeah, I don't know, I prefer for security purposes just to do them on video. I remember when that happened. There were a lot of people there, so yeah, it does. It's not. I don't know. Wow, look at that. That's a spotless commutator. I don't even think I need to clean that. I mean, I'll check the little spots in between, but that's not bad right there. So yeah, let's just check to make sure these are clean. They don't look bad, but you never know if there's just some really little thing. Yeah, actually, there is a little bit of dirt in. Yeah, there's a little bit of dirt in all of them, so it was good that we cleaned that out. But overall, this motor, in comparison to most of the stuff I'm working on, this is actually pretty good. I just realized the brushes fell out. I'm just going to get those before we go losing them. I'm just going to put some oil. Have you ever seen the movie Silver Streak? I've seen the movie Silver Streak. It's sort of an unusual film, but it's entertaining. I mean, it's a Gene Wilder film, right? So you know, you're already off to a great start. And as a kid, before I'd seen the movie, my dad found the crash scene at the end where it goes into Union Station. There, I thought that was the craziest thing as a kid, and it was going through pillar. It was just so over the top. The train goes through a store. It goes into the station through a store, and then crashes into some pillars, and then crashes into a car. It's just so over the top, but I did enjoy it. Your channel should be called The Train Fixer. Yeah, it's most of what it's about, I guess. Oil all this up. Unstoppable is my favorite train movie. It's a good one. I know a lot of rail fans were a little mixed on that film when it came out because it wasn't the most. There's a lot of things that if you know stuff about trains, you're gonna be like, yeah, that couldn't happen or that wouldn't happen. But as you give it some Hollywood grain of salt or whatever you want to call it there, and it's an enjoyable movie. I remember liking too that there was a mainstream film about trains, you know, so I could actually talk to all my friends and stuff about it. It's just sort of fun. So there's that all back together. I guess we can put the wheels and whatnot in. How do you feel about repowering/upgrading older models? I read some cool things about using older Cross Mafani shell on a blue box SD40 frame. Well, if you have an engine that you really cherish, and you know, like if you have an engine that has a shell that maybe has a lot of sentimental value, and you want to turn it into a good runner, I guess it's worth it. But the truth is, if an engine doesn't have a great drive system, it also usually doesn't look that great on the outside either. You know, it's like these old Bachmans, for example, you know, they're not great looking on the outside. They're not that well built on the inside. They're kind of like that through and through. So investing that much time and effort, it's got to have some good sentimental value or something, I think, to make it worthwhile. But if it's something that you enjoy, if you want to have some really classic looking models, but they'll run decently, yeah, why not? Yeah. I just don't want to go in. I prefer working on the lifelike models, which use essentially the same drive system, actually. But they're just a little bit less of pains in the neck in terms of putting all back together. All right, so that looks to be all good. Got to get that wiper over first. It's not really how you want to do that, but yeah. What do you use to clean your tracks? Mostly rubbing alcohol and cotton swabs or paper towel. But Pico, I know, for example, sells these little track cleaning erasers. You can buy them at hobby shops. I don't know what they're actually called. Tons of different manufacturers make them. They're pretty much all the same, but you rub those along the track. And the great thing is that it also removes oxidization, which rubbing alcohol won't. The rubbing alcohol will remove carbon buildup on the track and oils and things like that leak out of models. But if you've got a bit of rust or oxidization on your track, the rubbing alcohol will actually make it worse. So that's the good thing about those little sponges, is they'll remove all of it. Now, I guess we can start reassembling this model. Yeah, we'll put the spring in here. I'm not sure how confident I am in this one running, but you never know. What about the movie Atomic Train? Atomic Train, I've never seen the entire movie. I've seen the train scenes. It looks like a well-done film. I mean, it's pretty dark. Maybe a bit too dark for my taste, but it's a bit over the top too, just how it all kind of plays out. But it definitely does get it for, movies are there for entertainment value. And if you want to kind of like really Hollywood kind of over the top movie, it's good from that standpoint. I like the engines in that movie. I think they're BC Rail engines, actually. Alcos, are they? This has got a bad lead, but that's not really... The wipers on these connect to both wheels, but really you're only getting one set of extra power, because the truth is that they have tires, so you're not picking up very much power from the rear wheels. So I think I'm just going to leave that as is. And I suppose I could take... maybe I will. I've got my soldering iron nearby. I guess we could just take care of that. It's just not worth too much, but if it'll make the engine run a little better, maybe it'll be worth it. Sounds familiar. Okay, we're going to get that in there. SMT, do you think it will run? Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag. I should be able to get an engine like this running again. But even if I won't, I'll just take it after the stream is over. It's just while I'm doing these live streams, I don't want it to be too tedious, taking it apart, putting it back together and stuff. I just want to kind of take it apart, clean it out, lubricate it, run it again, stuff like that. So, yeah. So we're now going to, on that subject, we're now going to remove this truck so that we can hopefully solder that wire back on. SMT doesn't have Thomas. He has a frozen flat car from David Z to G scale. Yes, exactly. Although honestly, I think I'd prefer to have the frozen flat car than a Thomas model. I'm just looking. Got some clippers here. We're going to do this. Okay, we got a comment here. Have you ever seen the old TV show Super Train? It only lasted about 9 episodes, but it's considered one of the worst shows ever. The model they used for the train was amazing, though. I've never heard of that. There was one kind of obscure train film. What was it called? I don't know. I only remember seeing the trailer for it. It looked pretty homemade. Oh, what was that called? I can't remember. It was some sort of homemade kind of film, but I don't know. It was sort of bizarre. I'm gonna go get my soldering iron. I thought I had it under my bench, but I guess I moved it somewhere for whatever reason. I don't know why I decided to do something that dumb, but well, I'll try to find it. If it's not around, though, I'll take care of that wire later. Well, let me go check. It might be on my workbench. Yeah, where did I put my iron? Here. It can't be that far. Yeah, I'm not seeing my soldering iron around here. I have no idea where I put it, but it's gone. So I'm just gonna reassemble this. I'll take care of that later, and for now we'll just try to run it as is. I'm gonna yank up that wire first, though, and then we will we'll see if our efforts have paid off on this model. And let's put the shell over it. All right, what does everybody have their bets on? Does SMT have any Conrail trains? We've got 2 Conrails, yeah. Okay, Bachman, Kadar, give us the best you've got. Wow. Doesn't even have cracked gears. It's even doing low speed. Well, okay, that went a lot better than I expected. So, there we go. We got 2 out of 2 going there. Now, on to our third beauty. Now, this was the one which I think was supposed to not have its gears, but I presume it does, because it does have its gears. So, take that off. This was supposed to be one of the more troubled ones, but I think I mixed it up. We've already fixed, I think, one of the worst. This one's just going to be a basic maintenance. Yeah, we're going for speed on this one. This one looks to be in better shape than the other ones. Look at how much cleaner this one is on the inside. Slow and steady wins the race. Let's test that theory. Yeah, this time, though, I'm going to throw all the parts right into the little parts thing. That, in a attempt not to lose any, because that will bring our time trial here to a abrupt halt. So I'll take that apart, take out the wheels. Take out the Kadar drive system, which is known to crack. These don't seem too eager to pop out, which is interesting. Now, I'll try to get... Oh! Both of the springs fell out, so those are in better shape than the other ones. I feel like somebody worked on this engine before. Everything's in much better shape than it should be in my books. In fact, these parts, these screws in this one don't look like the other ones. Neither do the brush plates. So I'm kind of wondering if somebody actually stole parts out of a Lifelike and put them in this Bachmann. You never know what some repair person might have done to this thing at some point. Because believe it or not, most Lifelike parts off of drive systems of the same era are compatible with these. You can interchange them. That's how similar they were. So it should be okay. By the way, I did this. I would advise against sticking stuff in the side here, because there was one time I did that and trying to pry this up, and my driver went right into the brush, or not the brush, but the coil, and destroyed it. So it's just something I'd like to note for anybody working on these things. Curious to see what the commutator's looking like on this one. Well, it's about to be expected. It's not awful. I've seen way worse before. But it could use a quick polishing here. Ah, look at that. Very nice. Now we just clean out the little gaps in order to get some stuff working here. All right, now let's get this thing back together. Where is my lubricant? Here it is. So let's lubricate that. Drop the motor back down into place. Oil those. Are these the engines from your recent visit to Larkspur? Yes, they are. And tomorrow I might be headed back there with the family. So I want to have them done so I can. So the owner will have something there. He did trust me with the restoration of these engines after all. Oh, that's not turning bad. Okay, good. So now we just need to get the everything, all the bearings lubricated and stuff, and it should be okay. What was the hardest loco to repair? I've had a few over the years. The Hiawatha's definitely been a challenge. That Hudson I got at a train show. I think it's a brass Tinshoto or something like that. That thing was a nightmare to work on. I did ultimately get it running, but that one was so bad. Ooh, those gears. Yeah, this has got a cracked gear. That one was so bad. It actually kind of damaged my... Before that, I'd been on a streak of just repairing engine after engine, success, 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 and then I got around to that thing and I failed miserably. And I didn't restore an engine for like a month after that, which was really dumb, because obviously you shouldn't let one knock you down, but I just didn't really want to after that. But yeah, eventually you get the craving again, you're back at it. I'm gonna try to get this gear in. I don't know why that other one was being so difficult. These were tricky to get out too, so I don't really know what's up there. Okay, that's about right. SMT, how's the Polish engine? Well, I haven't worked on it yet, but I'm kind of excited to see what's going on with that one, honestly. We just had that back together. There we go. Trying to be mindful this time to make sure I get the wipers in too. So that's good. And now we just need to get the brushes and all the rest of it in, and also those screws, which I forgot to... You're supposed to put in those screws before you go putting this all back together, but it doesn't matter. You can add them in after. It's not as proper, but you just need to get the angle right. like that. SMT, can you fix your GS4 daylight after this video? Believe me, I've tried. I probably, if I bought it some parts, I could, but I was looking, Bachmann's parts are really expensive, so I'm not really sure what I want to do, because fixing it is cheaper than buying a new one, but not by a crazy amount. And I don't know if the other parts have problems as well, so I don't know if I want to fix it. I could buy a new one, but the thing about buying a new one is that it does cost a bit more, and also, I'm not sure if I want to get another Bachmann one, because I've gone through 2 of those now. I don't really find Bachmann has the best reputation for quality, so I could buy a different brand, but all the other brands are way more expensive, so sort of a catch-22. Do I invest the big bucks, get a proper model, which hopefully won't break anytime soon? Buy the cheaper model from Bachmann, which will work perfectly for a while, but then probably bite the dust after such and such an amount of time? Or fix my current one, which is a mixed bag. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I find a Bachmann one, a modern drive Bachmann for maybe like 100 and something bucks, maybe I'll buy one. But otherwise, I don't really know. Okay, we're going to do this. SMT, have you thought about getting magnetic screwdrivers for handling those small screws? Well, these actually, some of them are magnetized. I could just let them sit on a magnet actually for a while, and then they'd become that way. But it does, you're right, it does help a ton actually putting these things back together. I don't know, I have one brush plate here and another there. But yeah, let's how did I do this? There we go. If ever anybody out there is planning on fixing up an engine for the first time, they want to start experimenting, buy an old Lifelike one, don't buy a Bachmann one. That's probably my #1 piece of advice. These are not the hardest engines to work on out there, but they're not easy because of these extra wires and pieces like that. There are definitely better brands to work on, or at least to learn on. But yeah, that'd probably be my advice if you want to start taking these. If you want to start working on model trains and fixing them, get yourself a busted 2nd generation Lifelike, because it won't give you too much trouble, is all I'm saying. Okay, I already put the brush in. Just need to follow it up with a spring, and then this one should be okay. I just put a decoder in a Proto 2000 Burlington Northern Santa Fe, and it runs great. I'm glad to hear that. Proto engines are they're pretty decent. They're not as reliable as Athearn Blue Box, but they're Athearn Blue Box clones. That's the thing. They're very similar to them, and they're overall pretty decent, and you can find them relatively cheap. They're not dirt cheap like the Blue Boxes are, but they're all right. Better than Bachmann, I would say. Modern Bachmann, that is. I think this screw is supposed to go in. Oh, that's going to be a nightmare to turn around. I have some Tyco F units that need to look up. I just haven't worked up the nerve to take them apart. Yeah, the Tycos are another one. They're even tougher to work on than these, honestly. They're not, again, like the tough Est models to work on, but they're not fun to work on, I would say. I mean, I enjoy taking them apart just for kicks and stuff like that, but they're kind of... The problem is getting... A lot of them require you going to the motor because they're carboned up and they need to be cleaned. But opening that part up and getting it back together is a nightmare. That's where the real challenge is. The gears and stuff are not that bad. But the nice thing about the life likes is you can really take them apart and put them back together without too many struggles, I find. I don't know why this screw isn't going back in there. Okay. So... I don't know what I'm going to do. Hey, SMT, make a steam ghost train. Is anybody out? I'm sure somebody watching the stream has seen that video. I don't know where it was filmed, but I think it's called the Ghost Train, and it's all these steam engines rolling down a track. I'm sure they're being pushed or pulled by a diesel, but that video is kind of creepy. I've always enjoyed watching it. Whoop, sorry guys, just knocked the camera, but this wire is such a pain in the neck. If I can't get it in here soon, I'm just gonna clip it, honestly. I can just picture the designer at Bachmann being like, "Oh, we'll put wires to all trucks. We'll put wipers on them. It will make them have better electrical connectivity." But the truth is, it just makes them trickier to work on, which I know for a consumer is not what they were really meant for, but you don't really get that much more for it. All right, engine's back together. Let's test it. All right. Oh, she's stuck again. Okay, good. It started under its own power that time. So there we go, 3 out of 3. Now, the last one, it's like, where the heck did I put it? The last one doesn't have any brushes. Somebody, I think, tried to convert this to a dummy. From what I recall, this thing had some sort of a problem. I think it was shorted, so at least we'll try to turn it into a proper dummy. I don't really like all this weird wiring stuff, though. Somebody was up to something here. I don't know what they were doing, but let's put it on the track and see if we can find something here. Yeah, see, it's shorted, and it's shorted really badly. So I don't know if somebody screwed around with this a bit. I don't know. So I guess we'll have a look. We'll try to fix the short. I feel like somebody might have just wired something wrong there, which can be done because, of course, you got power coming from one side. So if you took one wire coming from one truck and flipped it over and you have them crossing, that will cause a short. So that could be the source of the problem, but I don't entirely know. Just gonna move these little munchkins over there, and then we'll try to sort this whole thing out. This is some jacked stuff right here. I don't know what somebody was doing. SMT, do you know what happened to the Yellowstone? Well, I just never got around to working on it. I do intend to get that engine running someday, but there are projects like the Hershey factory, you know, that are more prioritized because I actually have a deadline for them. DV Tech, yikes, a wire nut in a model train. Something probably not connected. A wire nut is not designed for that. Yeah, I don't, this whole thing is really... I don't know what this is, too. Like, somebody, like, just put some, like, tack down to hold the wires in place. What? Okay, there's something weird going on with this. Looks Looks like somebody... What the heck? Oh, no. What did somebody do to this poor train? Oh, no. No, I think a wannabe electrical engineer had some fun with this. Oh, dear. I don't even know, like, what are these, diodes? Bloody hell, spells. That's not good. That's a pretty spotty wiring job. You know what? I'm just gonna redo this whole thing myself. I don't like this whole setup as far as I can throw it. Like, this is all really wacko. I don't like whatever this thing is, too. Why do both wires go to it? What the heck? I have no idea what somebody was trying to do. Yes, diodes. Any lamp wire in there. Surprisingly not. I don't know. This whole thing is... Okay, we're cutting out that wire. I'm gonna cut that out. Is that an LED bulb? No, it's an incandescent. It's the same one that would have been included. Like, it's the same kind of bulb that Bachmann would have put on a model like this. So I don't know why they felt the need to put whatever the heck this thing was. The only thing I can figure is diodes, I think, can be used for directional lighting. So I don't know if that's what it was for, but the whole thing is... And they used... See, why would you use shrink tubing in one spot and a wire nut in another? Like, I don't know. This whole thing is sort of odd. I also don't happen to have my soldering iron. I don't know where I put my soldering iron, which is unfortunate because it would really help us sort this engine out. But I think I'll just get the wires fixed. I'll solder them tomorrow before I bring it back to the guy, and then we're good. See, this right here could be a problem too, because you see we got a black wire coming up from here, which would mean it's negative, and then we got a black wire coming up here, and look, they've connected the black wire to the red wire, so unless they rewired that down there, could be where our short's coming from too. See, well, this is how that should be wired up. If they followed the color coordination, which, I mean, who really knows? So we'll just pigtail those two wires together, and then we'll tie one of the wires from the light to that. Never mess with a red wire, man. Yeah, exactly. Here, I'm gonna do the worst thing. I'm gonna cut the red wire. Yeah, and then tomorrow I can take my soldering iron, I'll throw some flux over the top, and then and it will be good. I mean, I could try to be even more shady and get it done with a lighter, but forge the light now. Make sure you have the motor wired correctly first. Well, I don't have to... I've given up on this motor because there's no gears in it, and I don't even know if there's... There may be a motor in it, but somebody converted this to a dummy, so I'm just gonna try to get it working as a dummy so that the store owner can just sell it to whomever they want to as a dummy. It could sell this for probably $5. I think somebody might pay that for a dummy Bachmann. If they want a via rail dummy. It's a via rail engine, that's kind of cool. Honestly, just rewired the thing completely. I have a soldering kit I got on Amazon. Yeah, I know how to... I would solder this. I don't have a clue. I was using my soldering iron for my track yesterday, I believe it was. I don't know where I brought my soldering iron after that, but I don't see it anywhere, unless I didn't take a great look, but it's got to be down here somewhere. I will buy it. It's not really mine to, it's not even my engine I'm working on here. It's a store, model shop owners, but hey, if you want to contact Larkspur Line in Merrickville, maybe he'll sell it to you. Okay, that's about as good a wiring job as I think this engine's gonna have. I'm gonna see if I can find my soldering iron, because I don't... Oh, sorry, it just blended in. It's right here. There's the old girl. I fixed this, by the way. My soldering iron, the wires on this had just busted right off. I didn't even notice this, but they had frayed and were touching each other. So one night I went to solder something. I heard a bang, and there were these blue sparks next to my arm, and I was like, that's not good. So the wires crapped out. So I rewired my soldering iron, and now that's safe again, so that's good. Anyway, we're going to do some shady soldering with SMT mainline here. We're going to, okay, what should I use? I'm going to use this wire here just to flux these together. Just put a bit of flux on them. And then we take our Amoco unleaded solder. We'll solder those up, and then I think we're going to try something new, courtesy of DB Tech. Like, no electrocution is not fun. Yes, we don't want that here on the SMT channel. Look at that quality soldering job. Okay, now, I'll be right back. DB Tech, who I think's in the channel, was kind enough to send some things, including some shrink wrap tubing. So why don't we have a go with that? I'll cut off a couple pieces. I don't know if this is the correct size, but it might work. So we're just going to kind of pinch these wires together, fit that over, and get your Bic lighter, and just sort of, oh yeah, look at that. Wasn't that satisfying? Ow. And do the same on this one. Wow, okay. Well, thank you very much, DB Tech, for that. I do appreciate it. Oh, here we go. DB Tech, David's here. I knew you would need that sooner or later. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Anyway, I think our dummy engine's wired up. Let's go see if I should have tested this before I went soldering and shrinking that up, because there is a chance that the wires are mislabeled, in which case everything I've done has pretty much been useless, but that should be good enough. Okay, so this shouldn't run, but hopefully we got the light at least working right now and no short circuit. I feel like it might still short because, again, that wiring could be mislabeled. Well, now we're even worse than we were before. The light's not working and we got a short circuit. Okay, well, I've got one idea to get out of this pinch really easily, which is to flip the truck around, which would sort this out. Can you fix the spacebar live? It's high demand on normal streams. That's true. I guess I could, I don't know. Let's see if we can at least get this guy working right. I think I just lost a part. There we go. So that's how it was. Are the wires not long enough? All right. magnet is cracked. SMT, who's texting you? Someone nice. Alright, are there contacts on both sides on the front? Yes, there would be. But that should sort that. Is SMT texting a girl? Let's see. Let's see if that's fixed her up. That might have just been the other light. Someone nice, a girlfriend, maybe. Yes, maybe so. It's SMT on Tinder. No. Well. Yeah, I think the light bulb just went kaput, but at least it's functioning properly as a dummy and isn't... At least it's not shorted. His girlfriend texts him and 240 viewers check their... I hadn't even thought about that. The Bing. People are like, oh, messages. Well, I guess I'll call that a success. I wish the light hadn't burned out, but... Oh, sorry, folks. Serenity, I guess. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yes, people are putting Serenities with question marks. It's about where I stand on this engine too. But at least it's at least it's not gonna spike somebody's controller. So I think that's good enough. So there we go. There are all of any fixes for his phone, maybe. So yeah, I guess we kind of got them all working, or at least to the max of their potential. I'm just gonna check something. I think Chris of GVO, or of Go VR Go Home may be doing a live stream, so I'm just gonna check. If he is doing a live stream, maybe all of you kind folks out there can head over and show him your support. Let me see here. Go VR Go Home. He was doing a live stream earlier, I think. There is a live stream going on Chris's channel. So if you guys want to go show him the support, I'm going to be finishing up this stream because I got the engines done. I've got some other stuff I'd like to take care of. But yeah, go show Chris your support. I'm sure he will appreciate it. Let me just find it here. Let's find the channel here. Here's the channel. It's called Go VR Go Home. Guy's name is Chris. Super nice guy. Great channel. And you should go check it out. Ottawa just posted a link. You guys can go watch that. And yeah, looks like he's up to some repairs or not some repairs, but some layout work. So yeah, I want everyone. Ottawa's spamming up the link there. Everyone go check that out. Anyway, I hope you all had a nice time with the repairs here. I had some fun with that, and yeah, I think overall it was good, and hopefully I can haul them off to the store, and the owner of Larkspur will be good. SMT needs to answer his girlfriend, something along those lines. Anyway, have a great evening, everyone. Bye.